British newspapers rarely hide their opinions, and they're not holding back. Most support Brexit. Some picked up on an implied threat from Theresa May, since downplayed by the government, that Britain may withhold security cooperation if it doesn't get good trade terms. So much now depends on this man, the Minister for Brexit. He's introducing a Great Repeal Bill, incorporating thousands of EU laws into British law to ensure continuity as Britain leaves the EU.
We have been clear that we want a smooth and orderly exit, and the Great Repeal Bill is integral to that approach. It will provide clarity and certainty for businesses, workers and consumers across the United Kingdom on the day we leave the EU. It will mean that as we exit the EU and seek a new, deep and special partnership with the European Union, we'll be doing so from a position where we have the same standards and rules.
Mr Davis says that over the years these EU laws will be amended, replaced or improved. But he also says lots of new laws will have to be in place by the time Britain leaves the EU.
Britain and Europe have been tightly bound for more than 4 decades. So here are just some of the areas where the British government is now going to have to introduce new legislation. Environmental standards, things like protection from water and air pollution, aviation regulation, airline routes, airline safety and so on. Workers' rights, that is maternity leave, sick pay, the power of trade unions and so on. Medicine, the regulation of drugs, medical regulations, and financial services, so important to the British economy.
Opposition parties fear the government will use Brexit to grab power and undermine workers' rights and environmental protection. But this Brexit critic from the governing Conservatives believes that Theresa May was suitably diplomatic in her speech announcing Britain's departure from the EU.
The tone of the way that she spoke yesterday was so important, both for our own country and the 48% who voted for us to remain, and of course the messages that she was sending out to the European Union. So in all, that was very good. Now we need to make sure we get that good deal. And the one thing we don't want is to fall off the cliff edge and get that hard Brexit. That would be very bad for our country.
There's no turning back now, says the Prime Minister. Westminster waits for Europe's response. Barnaby Phillips, Al Jazeera, London.